and welcome to the Momversations Club, the podcast born out of the idea that every mum needs a tribe. I'm Claire Strong.
And I'm Christina Struckmeyer. We're two moms just like you, navigating the chaotic, challenging, and often isolating world of motherhood.
Now, I'm sure you've heard the saying that it takes a village to raise a child. Well, we want to know, where the F is that village at?
It's a question that resonates with so many of us who find ourselves raising children, managing careers, and trying to maintain our identities, often with a sense of isolation.
Yeah, it is a lot to manage, but we're here to remind you that you're not on your own. The Momversations Club is your village, a place where you feel valued, appreciated, and understood.
We believe that by sharing our experiences, successes, and struggles, we can create a virtual village for all you amazing mamas out there.
So join us every week for an honest, raw, and relatable discussion about all aspects of being a mum, including the stuff that you just can't talk about with anyone else.
So if you've ever asked yourself, where the F is the village, then you found your tribe. Let's get into it.
So no, this is the actual thing. So what do you think? I could wear it as a hat. I mean, I could just like hold it up as I'm speaking.
Oh no.
Oh
no, it's the emergency test.
Okay. So this is the joys of recording a podcast in real time. We have an emergency test, but it's only a test.
It's only a test. We're okay. I turned my notifications off, and Apple iPhone, they're not going to sponsor us ever, but disappointed.
So you know what I did? You know where my phone is right now?
Where is it?
In the laundry room, and it's under a sleeping bag and a duvet. So I literally hid it under there, and I can't hear it. So it seems to have worked.
That's genius, Claire. This is why you're the lead of this situation.
We need
a head on the straight.
I think genius is a little bit too of a high of an accolade. But
my God.
I'll take it.
Okay.
No, but that's not really true, because you're the organizer out of the two of us. You are more organized than me.
I do organize. I was actually just talking about this with a friend. I go, I don't know what part of me actually likes organizing, or if it's like a stress response that I have convinced myself is entertaining for me.
Yeah, that's so funny. Or maybe you're just a control freak. Do you think you're a control freak?
Could be. My husband might agree.
So when's your birthday, by the way? I've never asked you this.
Oh man, it's coming up. I'm a Scorpio. My birthday is November 9th.
Oh, okay. So I'm September. So mine's the 23rd. So I think I cross over between a Libra and a Virgo, I think. I'm not that knowledgeable about star signs. I probably need to get with the program. But I think.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I got really into it when I was dating as a single mom, because I got real tired of dating people that I didn't feel were compatible for me.
Yeah.
My husband is a Cancer, which goes really well with Scorpio because they're very emotional. And so, it's a good situation.
Oh, that's so funny. So hang on a second. So when you were actually looking for someone to date, did you actually go by the star sign? So you wouldn't date someone if they weren't compatible with your star sign?
Kind of towards the end. I at first was like, I am an equal opportunist, like all, men who are not, convicts, which, funny story, we will talk about that one day, my dating shenanigans.
Oh my God.
But
I can't wait for that one.
At the end of it, towards when I was about to meet Alex, I said, you know what? I am going to get so damn picky. And I bought the app I was using had a premium feature where you could buy so that you can weed down the fields. And I was college educated, must be this star sign, must be this tall, must want kids, all these things. And there was 3 dudes.
And was Alex one of the 3?
Alex was one of them. Yeah.
Wow. He made it to the last 3. That's impressive. Well, in fact, he made it to the last 1, didn't he, in the end?
Yeah, he duked it out, man. He went for the gold there.
Well, I think we should do a whole episode on that, because that's really, really interesting. But I want to chat today about motherhood and about friendship, because those two things are sometimes really difficult to coexist.
Yeah, I mean, now that we're talking about star signs, I'm wondering if at Mommy and Me, I should start asking women their sign.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, I like
Oh
just chill out
man.
right now. I tell you what, let's talk about this first of all. That might be a little overkill. Like, hi, I'm Christina. What's your star sign? I think you need to. I think we need to like build up a little bit of rapport,
Maybe. Maybe.
before you're like going with the kill.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I
mean, that
mean?
makes sense, Claire, for sure.
I
That
think so. I think so. Like I'm speaking like in a big sister role to you now. I think let's just hold off on the star signs. But this whole subject is very, very interesting because
yeah.
motherhood can be isolating. I mean, how do you find, like, how do you make friends? How, in your current situation right now, how are you making mum friends?
Well, I mean, the thing about it is I've talked about it in the intro episode, but I live on a farm. My husband's a rice and walnut farmer. And so we are like 20 minutes from any sort of store. And our schools are again that like far away from us. Any mommy and me parks, any of that stuff. So I have to be real intentional with like getting out there and presenting myself as someone who's available for friendship. And I also like use online tools like moms groups and stuff like that. But I'm going to be honest, Claire, it's a struggle. Like making friends as an adult in general is its own sense of awkward. But, like, you throw in
Yeah.
motherhood and, like, kids doing kid stuff and, screaming and there's drool and it's a whole thing. Like, I have such a hard time with it. What about you? Like, how are you making friends over there?
So it's interesting. And I was having this very conversation with my 15-year-old this morning on the way to school because she's really having a hard time at the minute making new friends. She's desperate to make new friends. Um, and she's just feeling really kind of awkward. And I felt so bad for her. But it's interesting because I said this to her, and I don't think I'm the wisest of people, but when you get to your 30s and 40s, we have lived a little bit of life. And
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
feel like, at least in a position where sometimes I can impart like my personal experience. And so what I said to her is, throughout my life, it's not been a case of I've never looked to have as many friends as possible. I've always just wanted like a couple of good friends. And I said to my daughter, the biggest thing for me is I need low maintenance friends. I need friends that aren't going to hold it against me or, be mardy. That's an English term we use for grumpy. So if I say the word mardy now, you know. Um,
No, I know.
so, I don't want people to be mardy because I haven't like responded immediately to the text. It's not because I don't care. This is the thing. It's not because I don't care. That's not the case. It's because, more than likely I'm overwhelmed. I've got
Mm.
like 20 different things I'm dealing with at that time and I will get round to it. And so I need friends that aren't going to hold stuff like that against me and that are just going to be low maintenance and that they don't expect a lot from me. When I say that, I don't mean because like my bar's low or their bar should be low. I feel like I'm a really good friend, but I just they know that I'm there for them, and they know that I love them, and that when
Yeah.
we, whenever it is that we get to chat, whether it's like on the phone with my English, well, on WhatsApp with my English friends or my friends here, every so often we'll do a coffee or do lunch. It's great. I mean, we relish our time together, we savor it, but I don't have to be, texting them every 3 minutes, otherwise the friendship's over. And so I'd say I've made like a couple of really good friends since I moved here 6 years ago. And obviously, I do know a lot of people. I mean, being a journalist, you get to know a lot of people. So I do know people in my community. It's not that I'm lonely, but I feel I'm okay with just having a couple of really good friends in my life. So I have a couple of
Yeah.
really good friends here. And then my best friends from back home, who I do speak to most days, I have a couple of those too. So how about you? Like, who is your, have you got that friend that you go to about everything?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I've always felt probably since college that there's different friends for different things. I've always like I'm an
Yes.
organizer. We talked about this, but
Yes.
I
Yes.
love in my mind, I don't love to. In my mind, I just have always kind of categorized them, right? There's the friends that in college you go to the bar with. There's the friend that you go study with. There's the friend that if you need a heart to heart about boy problems, you go to them. As a mother, I've shifted that. Like I now have, the friends that you go to mom's night out with, or the friend that you call when you want to talk about things that are bothering you or things that are real. And then the friends that are just like, hey, do you want to get outside with your tiny human and like wear real clothes? That would be awesome. Let's go to a park. So I've had a really good best friend, and we've had a couple of breaks in our friendship over the years where when I didn't talk to her, I definitely felt that absence.
Mhm.
Um, but I talk to her almost every day on WhatsApp. Funny enough, that's the best app for moms
It
who don't
is.
have a lot of time.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah,
You
I've
can
used it for
message real
years now.
quick. We
Yeah,
do a
yeah.
lot of like pick up drop off lines. Like if I'm in the drop off
Yes,
line,
yes. It's
totally.
great for that. Yeah, yeah.
But then I also have like a group of mom friends that I met at a mom's group when my oldest was younger. And we all collectively like kind of went through our first motherhood experience together. And we've kept a group chat ever since. And as they've gotten older, things have shifted and they're not as active in there. But I remember the toddler years, we were so thankful for that group chat because no one knew what we were doing at all. It was just chaos being led by chaos.
Oh, that's so funny. But it's funny
Yeah.
you just mentioned, mums that you met during like toddler group and the toddler years, because one of my best friends who I speak to all the time, she's still back in the UK. I met her when Sophia was 2, so my eldest was 2, and her youngest was 2. And so we met at one of those groups, and she is just my absolute best friend. I can tell her everything. She's always got my back. She's my biggest fan. It's so great. But you mentioned something at the beginning that I was talking to my daughter about this too. In life, you do have friends for certain seasons. And it's difficult to explain this to someone, especially like a teenager who maybe hasn't experienced as much life as we have. But it doesn't mean that those people like you were using them. That's not kind of what it is. What I think it is that you do just meet people at different stages in your life, and for that period of time that friendship works. You both, there's a mutual need between you and the other person. And
Yeah.
sometimes when that situation, when that stage evolves, when it changes, you just lose contact, and it's not generally because you've had some sort of fallout or any drama. It's just, and that's okay. You haven't
Yeah.
failed as a friend. Just to say that you haven't failed as a friend. That would be my advice to anyone who is, feeling guilty that they haven't maintained contact with, all these friends that they've met over the years. Um, and the other thing is, it is a two-way street. I think we put so much pressure on ourselves. I know I do. Like, oh my God, I haven't spoken to this person in a couple of months. And so I think it's great to take the initiative, and I would encourage everyone to do that. But in the same breath, it is a two-way street, and so it's not always down to you. It's not always down to you to keep friendships going. The other
Yeah.
person needs to help too. But the other thing I would say about that is, don't overthink everything, because people are so busy. It's probably not because they now hate you for some reason, and that you're not important to them. They're probably holding shit together too.
Yeah.
They've probably got, I'm
So
serious, they've
true.
probably
So true.
they've probably got like 20 things they're working on. They've got the kids melting down. They're, on the verge of divorce. They're, not sleeping. They're trying to juggle work. And so that's why they haven't texted you. It's not because
Yeah.
they hate you. They from time to time will still think of you. And so I almost think you have to develop a little bit of a thick skin with friendships and not take everything personally. It's
So
not all
true.
about you.
Yeah, that's such good advice. Because if you think about it, you go, okay, well, why don't I answer my text? And for me, it's like I opened it, a toddler grabbed my phone, ran away
Oh
with
my
it.
God. So
Like
listen,
I saw it.
yeah, and I do that all the time, Christina. So like my 13-year-old, she's about to get her first phone. So for the last God knows how many years, like she just uses my phone to like text to friends, to like look at stuff online or whatever. And so, like, quite often, if I haven't replied to your text, Christina, it's because my child has had my phone. So I didn't even know you'd texted. And she's probably even opened it and then not told me. Do you know what I mean? So that's an
Yeah.
example of where that's why I need low maintenance friends.
Totally. When they were talking about like when you have them, right? Like getting them is a whole other situation, right? Like especially I know we're in different seasons of motherhood. I talked a little bit about the friends group, which I'm re-entering with my littlest one. My
Yes.
older one's
Yeah.
8, so I have that friends group, but they all have
Yeah.
like after that one kid, they all went and had another kid a couple years later and a couple years later. So they don't
Yes.
have babies anymore. Like they
Yes.
don't,
Yes.
that's not their stage anymore. And so I've got to find people in my stage just to kind of have that relational friendship. And so I feel like I'm starting over. It's like when I went to go dating again after my divorce. I
Yeah.
remember feeling like, how do I do this? Like, how do I do this again? I forget. Like I was so eager last time and I had a smoothness about me. I was very suave. And now I
Ooh.
feel like so awkward. And it's a little bit like dating. Like I feel like finding your mom match or mom matches is like a little bit of like cat and mouse with the mamas.
Do you think you might be trying too hard? Do you think you're putting too much pressure on yourself to like find friends?
No, no, I don't think so. I'm just trying to like be open to it, right? Like it's like when
Mhm.
you decide to be open to love, right? I am open to mom friends. I recently had a situation where I was taking my 1-year-old to mommy and me gymnastics, which is so cute, but also they don't know a damn thing about gymnastics. They're just running around. Like,
Physical
everybody's
carnage.
It is just it's we've lost the plot basically
Yeah,
every
yeah,
single
yeah.
time. And so I'm basically looking around at other moms and sizing up whether they're normal, or chill. And then I'm
Mm.
deciding which mom looks the most chill and has a similar kid in an age group that would play with mine and striking up conversation. And sometimes you'll be in a conversation for about 2 minutes and you're like, this isn't the one. How do I get out of this? Other times I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I really like her, but I cannot come on too strong or I'm gonna freak her out. Let me just kind of, shimmy out and kind of just be like, I'm cool. We can just chat next time."
But it is kind of like dating. And again, going back to the conversation I had with my 15-year-old this morning, she was saying to me, "Mum, there's this really nice girl in my class who I think I'd love to be friends with." And I was like, "So you need to basically ask her out. You
Yeah,
need to say, 'Oh, hi, whatever your name is. Would you like to go to the mall with me at the weekend?'" It is like dating.
it is. And the
Yeah,
rejection's
who
real because you're
knew?
like, what if she says
Yes.
no?
Yes.
Oh man. It's a whole
Yeah.
thing. And I feel like there's stages. Like I feel like step 1 is like, "Hey, oh, your kid's so cute. Like how old?" Like it's just that little small talk banter of like
Yeah,
we are
icebreaker.
both I see that you have made a tiny human. I have also made a tiny human. Like it's
Yeah,
very surface.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Then you wait till the next time you see them if they're at the park again or at the play date again or the play group. And you maybe strike up a conversation about their life outside of this play group and see how that goes. And then there's that third of we should get together sometimes. But then even that, like scheduling a hangout outside of the play group can be so hard because even if you both want to, like life always gets in the way. I have one friend, we've been trying to play date for 2-3 months. And every time someone's kid gets sick or there's a doctor's appointment or like pick up drop off schedule.
Yes. And so that's an example, Christina. Sorry, I'm just like whacking the mic. Um, oh no,
Are you
sorry,
on?
oh, sorry. Yeah,
Testing.
no, I didn't mean to do that time. But that's an example of where you have to not overthink things because you can very easily take those. They're not rejections. Literally, life happens, especially
Yeah.
when you've got young kids.
Yeah.
But you've got to make sure that you're not like, oh God, you know, I think she's just putting me off. This is like the third time we've had to rearrange. Yeah, but you know what? It's probably because life is happening, and there's not that mom is genuinely telling you what's going on in her life. It's not because she doesn't want to see you. So it goes back to that. I think positive assumptions. I think we need to apply this to all aspects of our life. And listen, it's easier said than done because I very quickly can think, oh God, it's because they don't like me or I'm not good enough or whatever. And it generally isn't that, in my experience. It
Usually not.
generally
Yeah.
isn't that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're not alone. So I love that we're starting to already kind of
Mhm.
build our Momversation Club village. I put out a message on Facebook, a text post on my
Mhm.
personal Facebook, and I just, I
Mhm.
asked moms that were in my circle, what they find to be the hardest part of making friends. And there was a lot of responses. There was like 26 people that pretty immediately like were very engaged in the conversation and a lot of back and forth in the replies to each other. So
So
this is
was there
not
like
like
yeah.
this is
I
not like isolated to just us. Like this is like a
it's not.
phenomenon.
So I'm interested. So what responses did you get? And was there like a common theme? Was there one that really seemed to resonate with everyone?
Yeah, I think that in group settings, I think a lot of us revert back to like a high school self. Um,
Yes.
we feel awkward. We feel like we don't fit in. We feel like we're not part of the cool kids club. Maybe there's already an established mom group kind of there already, and you don't feel like you
Yes.
belong.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. You
so
don't know
that came
quite
up a
how
lot.
to break through. Yeah. Okay. That's
Yeah, they
interesting.
didn't say that per se, but there was a lot of like being so awkward or feeling like they don't fit in or, those kind of vibes. So I think that we kind of in those social situations might be leaning back and not standing in the truth that is like the current version of ourselves.
Well,
Because
I'd
I don't know
love to
about you, but that
hear.
was not the best of times for me.
Yeah, absolutely not. And I'd love to hear, what our listeners, what
Yeah.
they feel about on this subject. I mean, what's challenging for you when it comes to making friends? What are the obstacles that maybe you put in front of yourself, and how do you? I'm interested to know, how do you maintain friendships? Like,
Yeah.
how do you do the bare minimum to keep a friendship going? Because there's one thing making friends, there's a definite other thing in maintaining a friendship. So yeah, I mean, comment, send us a message, because we'd love to hear from you, because this is what the Momversations Club is about. This is your village, this is your tribe. We can't do this without you, and so let's have a chat about shared experiences.
Yeah, share your feels. Tell us what is the hardest part about making friends with other people. Also, what struggles you've had in maintaining friendships. We'd love to hear from you guys. And yeah, pop over to me and Claire on our personal pages, or even better, follow us on social on Instagram and TikTok.
Okay, so I guess that brings us to the end of another episode of the Momversations Club.
If you've enjoyed today's show, and we hope you have, please don't forget to subscribe, leave a review. Your support helps us reach even more moms and build a stronger village.
Okay, and remember, we're here for you. You're not alone. And together, I promise, we'll figure out where the F is that village.
See you next time.
Bye.